Hi guys, welcome in. Today here we have RhymSter.
Papa gone, he got 3 slugs in his bag from a dirty pig, ready to hang.
We're gonna go ahead and get to know him a little bit, say hello, see what he's about, and dig down a little bit into who he is as an artist.
Let's go.
Let's see. Where did or how did RhymSter come about? How did your name?
I was in a music studio like downtown somewhere, like, man, had to be going on like 10 years ago. And we were in a session and I had a Mac laptop, and one of the artists there was like, we're smoking whatever. And she was like, she used to like to write small stories.
Okay.
So she started writing a small story about everybody in the room.
Okay.
And then she started giving everybody nicknames, and then my nickname was like, oh, Sir RhymSter when he flows. It was some, poetry, whatever. But then I like opened my laptop later when I went home, and I was like, what is this? And then I read it, and then I saw the Sir RhymSter. I was like, oh, I like that, Nick. Because at the time, like, when you start off as rap, like, you got like 10 different names. You don't know who the hell you are. And I was like, let me drop this Sir, because there's already Sir Michael Rocks from the Cool Kids in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to sound like I'm biting. So it was RhymSter, but it was with an E. So I'm like, I'm gonna drop the E because the E kind of looks extra. So it's RhymSter, and like I just stuck with it, and then it kind of stuck. And then ironically, like around that time, when I kind of like my first official show, like what I consider official, and then I was like, yeah, put RhymSter on there, and then it just looked good on the flyer. I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick with this, and then it turned to Rhymes. My homies call me Rhymes now, so it's just like it just goes. So that was. Shout out to I forgot what her name was. Shout out to her for doing that.
Wow. So you don't even remember who gave you this
I opened my Mac laptop and I was like, what is this short story?
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, thank you.
Thank you. You were the guiding angel to this.
I was struggling with a name too, because I was like, man, like
She didn't even know.
yeah, like I looked up to like people like Kendrick Lamar, like he's like he was K-Dot, and he's like, oh, I want to be my name. I'm like, oh, his name's Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, my name's Julian Rodriguez. I sound like every other Mexican out here. I'm like, I can't be doing that. So I'm like, so I needed something, and it just worked.
What were some of the other names that you kind of had?
Man, you gonna make me do that? I had a group with this other dude. We used to hoop when we were in like high school and younger. Some Albanian dude. His name was Bachi, and he didn't own Bachi's Pizza. The Step Brothers. We used to go as Step Brothers. Then I had one called like, what was it? ROD, Reckless Overdope, like just some crazy, like just some off the wall shit.
You were just trying to come up with something.
Just anything that'd be like, all right, man, what can stick? Like, and then like that just stuck like the best. And I never even thought about a name change after that. I never was like, okay, it's time to drop this. Like, nah.
And how long has that been?
Man, probably like 10 years, maybe like 10 years at least. I've been RhymSter. I can go back on flyers and just probably see my name like in 2016, 2017 flyers that says RhymSter.
That's so crazy, and that's kind of crazy.
4 months?
No, just us. It's the best when you have someone that doesn't smoke. He's just sober all the time. All the time. Sí, bien enfocado, bien enfocado. Y es el que anda haciendo el desmadre.
I didn't drink 4 years. I'm good. No.
He smokes before.
He's in the zone.
No, okay. Where are you from?
Born and raised Chicago.
Okay.
When I was younger, bounced around Humble Park, Cicero, family. Ended up in like the Northwest Side. Like I want to say it was like Portage Park, Jefferson Park area. Moved to the suburbs a few times, came back to the city, lived in my studio for 6 months to a year. And then just kind of always just kind of bounced around, but like stayed in Chicago. That's where my studios were. That's where all the shows we were doing. So it'd be like, man, why am I gonna go all the way out there? Especially when I was younger, me and my homies, we were taking the trains, buses, we were going everywhere. We were ripping and running everywhere, anywhere we can get on a mic, on a stage, freestyle, whatever. So we were just always out and about, and started throwing shows. So we're our own street team, so we out there passing flyers from Wicker Park to here to Music Garage.
Crazy.
So so it just now it's like suburbs is chill, but I'm in the city like 5 days a week. So
what was it like growing up in these different neighborhoods that back in the day were a little...
Nah, man, I come from, I'm Mexican and Cuban, so I got just 2 crazy families. I actually had 3 families. My stepfather, he was black, so I had, a black family, a Mexican family, and a Cuban family.
Crazy.
So, you can imagine the variety of music I heard from the OGs to the, my uncles who are younger. It was just crazy. Just I was just I soaked it all in.
Yeah.
But it didn't really like. I was more of a quiet kid. Like, but all that came back to me as I got older, and then like that's what started painting a picture in my head of like when I get to writing, and like just the flavor of things, just the flavor of Chicago, man. I mean, the south, east, west, north side, it could be its own city. Like that's what's crazy about Chicago is like we're so big that it's flavor everywhere, you know, versus when I went to somewhere else, I'm like, this is your downtown, this is your whole area. Not to, you know,
no,
city,
I know,
like,
no, I feel the same way.
Man, like, we're huge. Like it's so huge, and there's people who never left this area, never left that area, and it looks brand new to them if they go up here or they go over there. So I was blessed to, you know, be around all kinds of, you know, races and all that, just seeing what everybody likes, all the music, you know, so. Yeah. In
like your childhood, like what was it like to kind of experience all those 3 different backgrounds?
I don't think I really. It was fun. It was fun as hell. But at the time I was more into sports, so I wasn't really into music. But like, like I played like accordion when I was like a little accordion prodigy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like I found basketball and I fell in love with basketball and I just put the accordion down. Like I was like, oh, whatever. But then now I realized like, man, I should have kept playing that, you know. But it was just great to just hear it. I actually got made fun of my freshman year because people were like, you know, basketball team, you like switch iPods, not iPads. Somebody was like, oh my God, you listen to jazz and country and Spanish music, and like the whole basketball team was listening to rap, and I was just like looking around like, what the hell is wrong with that, you know? So it kind of like messed me up a little bit at the time because, you know, you're young, you don't know, you want to find yourself, and then I just went straight to rap, like, because I was with the basketball team, so like, okay, all we do is listen to rap. And then, you know, my junior, senior year, I was like, I found like my old iPad had iPod that had all the songs on it, and I'm listening to them. I'm like, oh, what? So I'm like, nah, never again.
What
never
is
again.
this?
I was so happy, but like that's how it is in Chicago. Sometimes it's like one thing is one way, and you step out of it, you're like, oh no, this guy's tweaking, or you know. So
from like trying to remember back to those kind of days, what are some of the memories that are engraved in you?
Oh man, crazy Mexican parties when the kids parties till like 4 or 5, and then the adult parties like 5 to 5 a.m. I just remember those. Those used to be fun as hell. My stephouse, he was heavy into like boxing, so he would order like all the boxing matches or like wrestling, all the wrestling matches, and then it'd pretty much be like a party every time it came on. Uncles came over, cousins came over.
Yeah.
They were, you know, smoking weed. They were, you know, playing pool, shooting the shit, whatever. So you just learn, you just observe, or you hear things and like it goes in your head, but you'll understand it until you get older. Then you get older, you're like, my
cousins, my uncles were all about this, and I didn't even know.
Yeah. So like, you know, but they don't tell you when they're, you know, when you're that young or whatever. They might hit you with a little nudge, like, oh, you know, pay attention, like you're gonna need it one day. So I think it all came back like at the right time. I mean, it continues still to come back and pop in my head, you know.
So then, at what age would you say that music became a thing for you?
Man, not till I was like probably like 17, 18. When I got out of high school, I was like, well, me and my homies in high school, we were like, I was actually a sophomore. My homies, they used to like freestyle in their car, used to go play basketball. Like they were terrible, they were not good at all. And I never freestyle. I would joke around, freestyle with them. But over like the next couple of years, I would just like be in class, like writing raps. Like I wasn't even paying attention in class. And then I graduated, and I was hanging out with a group of guys, and like we were all like making music for fun. But then like there was like a switch in me that was like, okay, this is not fun no more. Not in that way, but like this, I don't want this to be a hobby no more. I want this to be like a passion or something, like something I could take further. And then eventually, like I broke away from the group because, you know, when you kind of level up, when you level up, it's like they're already on to the next thing of what's fun. Yeah, so they're like, "Oh, you're still doing that?" Or like, "Oh, forget it." Like, so it turned into that, and then I started meeting like people
that actually wanted to be there.
You know, it's that like we're going to parties and like finding like cybers and shit, like all that stuff. Cool. So it kind of 18 is when it started, and then like I said, I started rapping at 18, but then when I was like 21, 22, that's when I was like, looked at Jay-Z and Nas and all these guys. Okay, they went from rappers to businessmen. Like they're not rappers no more; they're music artists, and then they're actually businessmen who just happen to rap at this point now. Like they got so much money, they don't even need to rap. They don't need to rap to pay their bills. Like they do it because they're just so passionately.
That's what they love.
Hip hop, exactly. So that's what kind of evolved over the stage, and that's what turned into us throwing shows. Because I was tired of like, well, this guy's not answering me for a show, or this place not doing this. I'm like, man, fucking, we're gonna book our own shit.
Let's
like,
just do it ourselves.
Exactly.
Yep. I feel that completely. When you started chasing a dream, what did that dream look like to you? What were you after?
Man, at first I think I just wanted to be like recognized as like someone that has like actual skill. That was just one thing. And then it started turning into, okay, now this skill is turning into, because at first I was freestyling, so it'd be a lot of like subterranean on Tuesdays called 606, shout out 606, George Shadow.
Hey.
It's literally like, it's like a war zone. So best way I can describe it is like, I used to go to parties and freestyle. I move in, I got a crazy living situation, I move into this place, and my homie, he had a fake ID with him, and I just turned 21. And he had seen me freestyle for like a minute, and he was like, yo, you need to go to this place called Sub T on Tuesdays, bro. They cypher, and if you suck, they throw you off stage. I'm like, what? I'm like, what you talking about? He's like, just go, like, you understand.
What?
So, yes, I went there. Obviously.
Do they actually?
I'll tell you, it's kind of like to throw you off stage. Tell me. So basically, there's two hosts, Shadow, Master MC, and Annihilation, and DJ. And then they call, like near around midnight, they have a couple like opening acts, you know, about one or two. One might be from out of town, and then they call all the MCs to the stage. So it's like a step up stage.
Okay.
So like they're in front, then all the MCs crowd behind them. So you know they rap first, they start rapping, and then they pass the mic, and then whoever could step up and grab the mic and freestyle. And then the DJ, you know, maybe keep the beat and then they'll change it. So imagine like 30 people, and they keep passing the mic. But the crowd, if you suck, they go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you gotta pass the mic to the next person. So there's people who started, and I didn't even last 5 seconds. They didn't last 5 seconds. So like that's why I'm saying like you getting thrown off the stage technically.
Wow.
So I went there, and like I didn't know anybody. I didn't know they already had their own community. Like I was freshly 21, and then I went there like it was every Tuesday. It still is every Tuesday. And I basically just kept rapping every week, and I never got calmed down. And then they started it was like after a month, like yo, who are you?
Calm down.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Like they came up to me like whatever, and then that's when I started forming a relationship with them, with Subterranean. Got to throw shows there. They recommended me to shows, and from there it was just like the journey just took off.
Okay. That's really cool. As an upcoming artist, what are some of the struggles that you've had to face that you said, okay, fuck, I didn't know.
Yeah, well, for one, that pay to play, that can mean shows, that can mean radio, pay to write, that can mean blogs,
Anyone.
studio time, beats, music videos, photographers, like you know, but you don't know.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, like once you find out, then when you're working with real people, like you gotta realize this is the business. Like you have to learn the business. You can't just be like, I'm an artist and help me. Then you're gonna get taken advantage of. So that's another thing, getting taken advantage of from people, promoters or something. Promise you one thing, give you another. Then what are you gonna do? You gonna take it or not? Who's your investor? Are you your investor? You got investors around you. How you gonna pay them back if you got a backup? Like, so that's like the struggles that I've dealt with that have knocked me on my ass. All kinds of shit, you know.
Who have been the biggest supporters for you?
Huge support. Started with support from day one. Homies that are like, I'd say way Lazy and Arson, Jada Arias. Like we've known each other for years and like had a crew. We've all been like each other's best supporters. So like, just keep pushing because we don't let ourselves basically like get in the egotistical mindset of like, oh, I'm known in Chicago, or I had a good night yesterday, so I could take off today. Like we've always like pushed each other, failed miserably together individually, succeeded amazingly together individually, like all that. Like I would say, just them, and then just myself. People who don't believe in me, those are the ones that I look at because that's fire for you every day.
Yeah.
So like MJ, like, oh, he took it personal. Like somebody said something in the comment, oh, I can't rap. Like, okay, bad. Or just somebody at a show. You can see somebody at a show, like, low-key, all their friends are liking it, but that one guy's like, okay, why? Because maybe he raps and he wants to be on this stage or something. So it's like, I look at all those people, like, in the crowd, everywhere, and, like, I thank them because I'm like, yo, that gives me fire every day. It'll be like, all right, I want to prove to y'all and myself that I can do this and I will do this.
What has been the biggest motivation for you?
I'd say, like, self-motivation to want to be one of the best, top tier in Chicago at that. Just listening to the GOATs now. I mean, from the Kendricks, Coles, Dre, you could say, Chicago ones are Jenkins, Chance Vick. You could look at all of them. how successful they are. And like, it's just one of those things. I look at it, I'm like, oh, I can't do this, and I am doing this, and I can do it at that level. Beyond, like, some people look at them and be like, oh, I'm scared to rap now. I look at them like, okay, like, I hear you, like, all right, like, just make me want to go harder, all that shit. Like I said, I come from like competitive basketball. So I'm looking at like Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe. I'm looking at Michael Jordan. I'm from Chicago. The Bulls from Chicago.
We have a lot of
we have a lot of greatness here too, like in sports and all that. So it all combines with the music, the sports, and you just catch that energy, or it doesn't, you know. Like, so I feel that I've caught in that energy.
When you're up there in a stage, what energy do you look to?
I would say I want to give people an experience, like not a show. It's like continuously we'll talk about experiences you had. A show, you could be like, oh, I went to a show last Friday. You don't even say much about it because it didn't memorize you. So when I go on stage, I just want to be the best, one of the best, if not the best performer on there. I would say damn near touch people's souls, touch people's minds. When I like, my one key I give to artists, I'm like, yo, dude, when you're performing, like, look people in their eye, like, make them believe that you're saying what you're saying. Because if you're over here and you're over there, like, we know you don't, like, body language is everything. Like, body language is everything. So when I go on stage, I just want to show people, like, yo, you came here to see something, I'm going to give you some, whether you like it or not, but you're going to respect that I actually got some skill. It may not be your music that you like, but you can't be like, oh, well, you got skill, but it's just not my thing.
No, for sure. You do something, though. I can't.
Oh, a call and response.
I don't know what you do, but all I can say is I experienced it in the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, and from my experience, you connect with your crowd in a way that it catches people's attention. You know, it makes people wonder, who is that person up there?
Exactly.
You know, so for me, I give you that. Like, I give you that for sure.
Thank you.
No, for sure. It takes a lot. So, like, is there a process that you have? Like, do you...
Well, for one, I study, like, you got to study, like, past performers. You got to study, like, they don't even got to be rapper. You study great rock bands, great soul bands, James Brown, people who are into Michael Jackson. Like, watch how they operate on stage. How do they move? Like, what's their energy like? Like, how do they start their show? How do they close it?
Okay.
Like, you know, if you come on stage and be like, this next song is about so-and-so, if I don't know you, why do I care about your song? Not being bogus, but I'm being very blunt and honest. If I don't know you, why do I care about your song when I'm at this bar drinking with my friends or whatever? Like,
true.
Give them a story. Like, what's your story? Like, make me want to listen to this song. You know, like, this song, you know, like, that's what I like to do. I like to build a story, or I like to build an act. I'm in the movies as well, so I'm like, yo, treat your set like an act, like it's a movie or something.
Okay.
Like, each one's gonna transition to the next one for a reason. It's gonna do this. I'm gonna say something between. Put your hands up here. Put your ones up.
So you practice your performance. You're already at the point in your career where you're practicing every performance. Is that so?
Yeah, I practice it in the car. Practice it a cappella. I mean, I won't say it out loud. But I can do it in my head.
Okay.
You know, if I'm busy. But I will go to the studio and, you know, like, I will practice endlessly. And then with the day of, like, you practice, but not as much, because it's the day of. Like, save it for, you already practice so much. Like, okay, don't over practice.
Yeah.
You know? So just go and do it. But yeah, every performance, I would say I use a different set every show I do. Like, I don't do the same. If I do the same set, it's like maybe I'm in a different state. But if I'm like in Chicago, I'm like, okay, you can see a different set each time that I perform.
You like to change it up. Cool. What does your art make you feel when you're in the middle of creating it? Like when you're writing or choosing a beat or...
Empowered. It makes me feel empowered, motivated. I'm trying to think of it. I want to say like a better word than happy. Like, it makes you feel happy because you feel free doing what you're doing. Like, this is what I worked for, this is what I continue to work for, and it's working. You know, whether whoever's beat this is, if it's easy, if it's my other homies, like, this beat's raw, he sent me this beat, it's just something that goes together, boom, like, get to it. Middle of performances, seeing people pay attention to you and, like, interact. If you get someone to interact, you know, that's basically Simon says, put your hands up something. That's basically what you do on stage. Cool. Yeah, so it's like doing that. It's just a great feeling. It's just a great feeling to have that you can walk away with. But it's even greater feeling when you wake up the next day and you're like, okay, let's do it even bigger, better. All that.
Is there anything specific that you like to create, like a certain topic that you like to stick to, or do you just kind of whatever flows to your mind?
I say whatever flows, but like for topic, I would say a decent amount of songs, yeah, but I'd say the main purpose is like get to it, you know. Like that would say my purpose, like I'm telling you how to get to it, how I get to it, but like how I went through it, you know. Like,
Okay.
That's what I would say. Like music's the story of my life, of life, you living life. So this is my opinion of it. Like ride with me or don't.
How do you begin a process?
Random, it depends. It depends on the studio, because we could like what we say is like great art leads to great conversation, or great conversation leads to great art. So like we're in a room, somebody's playing some beats or just some music, or we're just talking. Someone might say something, or we might freestyle or whatever, and like, oh, that's the hook, or that's the concept of the song.
Oh, really?
And then that's one way that'll happen. Then it turns into, okay, you write, or you freestyle, or you do this, and then that's one. Another one would be invite producers. We just be like, go cook up, and then they'll just sit there and cook up, and we just get into the flow of it. Sometimes, you know, just come ready. Like I write a song in the car or at home or whatever, and when I go to the studio, I'm like, okay, now let me knock these out first, and then I can get to the creative process.
Is there any upcoming projects that you have?
Yeah, I have HOTBOX SPARRIN, November 15th. DZ pretty much pulled a Hit Boy and Nas. He produced it, mixed it, mastered it, recorded it. 10 tracks, it's crazy. I have 3 singles out right now.
But I won't. No lobotomy could fix illness that's self-taught. Turn experiences to record-breaking stats. I do. Who you know could turn opinions into facts. I do.
I'm excited. November 15th, Subterranean. We've been going crazy all over the city, but that project is like, I would say like the home run. Like it's just.
How long have you been working on that for?
5 months maybe. It's,
okay.
Yeah, it's like I gave him an idea. I gave him a folder of like samples. It's like, yo, these are samples I found. I found them in soundtracks off movies, off this. So I just made a whole list. And I already had, I believe, the concept. I was like, yo, I got this concept called HOTBOX SPARRIN, and you know, it means I'm like, the story I'm gonna tell, you're gonna know why I'm HOTBOX SPARRIN, like what it means. It was like, all right, bet. Like 2 weeks later, he sent me like a bunch of beats. I probably wrote the whole project in like a month and a half.
Wow.
And then later on, we added a few more songs, and then I went to his house in his basement in Benefo Films. Chance, shout out to him. We did like 8-hour session, and I like recorded like probably like 80% of the whole project right there. And then, you know, we fixed things here and there, but that was like the meat of it, like right there.
Crazy.
So yeah, so we've been going crazy with that. Like the November 15th, that one.
What inspired it?
Having my back against the wall, or like, you know, that feeling where like the only way you can go is forward. Like things push you back so much. Because at that point, like, we're doing good stuff, but I felt like I was like plateauing. I was like at a point where like going up, and then you go like this, but you can't go up. You're just doing like this. So I felt a little, I was like burnt out. So I had to like take a step back. I didn't write for like 2 months, and then I did all that. So it's like I just had to be like knocked down to get back up. So that's what like inspired this whole project. Yeah.
What's the biggest focus in your career right now besides that?
Going on tour to Europe and the whole U.S. next year. We're already going to Mexico again. Shout out to SPARRIN. We already did that Ritmo y Flow last year, Guanacareros, Michoacan. Now we're going back this year, so that's gonna be 2 years in a row. So that's top of the year. So that's how we're starting.
Where is that one at?
Guanacareros, Michoacan, Mexico.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's my point, ain't it?
So that's your status? Okay.
What's called? We're going back there. It's gonna be dope. Then we come back. Shout out my boy Ivy. He's a Florida Connect we work with, so we're gonna have a show out there in Florida, called Broward County. Like that's the county that he's in. And then coming back here, Chicago show, Milwaukee show, because we throw shows in Milwaukee every month.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I've been hitting up like East Coast states. I've been talking to some cities in Houston, some cities in Texas, like Houston and Austin. Like we're trying to just make a whole connection. Just go from there. Talking to some people overseas about doing Birmingham, Manchester, and then working on Amsterdam. So I'm like,
That's awesome.
but it's like 6 months from now. So it's like, oh, we got plenty of time. Like,
plan it out.
Plan the seeds and make sure. And I'm like, yo, there's gonna be big crowds. It could be like 40, 50 people. And if you do that spread out across the world,
it's okay.
And on top of that, you're going through posting posters around the world, getting good footage. Prices. So that's like the focus with this. And honestly, just have fun with it too. Remember, it's like, this is fun, but the business got to get done too. Like, but can't remember not to have fun.
What would you say, like, has been one of the things that, like, you've fallen in love more with, like, as you progressed in your career? Because, like, you've been doing this a minute now.
Yeah, rapping, I would say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Has it changed?
Yeah, it changed. You can hear it on this project, like, significantly. Like, it's changed a lot. You're gonna find out. And people have seen, they've heard it, like, you know, homie stuff. Like,
what's one of your favorite projects, like your personal favorite projects that you say, you know what, I don't know what it is about this one, but
this one.
This one?
This is the one. Like I said, this is the one that's like, to me, it's like, not to say everything else I didn't do was really good or great, whatever. It's like, this one is like, nah, this is the one that I'm excited to present.
What about it? Like, tell us more about it.
I mean, from everything.
Tell us more about it.
From the way Teasy flipped every beat. Be crazy. Like, in real hip hop, the sample lovers, like, they're gonna see like what we flipped, which is gonna go crazy. The story I'm telling, the lyricism behind it, the flows, and then when you see it live, like the way we're gonna paint it live next year. It's like, I'm gonna go on tour. It's gonna be called the HOTBOX SPARRIN tour. And take that. You're
planning to make it a tour.
Yeah. So top of that, I mean, plus goes to hit festivals. So hit them up now because they start booking so advanced. So it's like, all right, look, we got this project is doing this. What's up? Like, give me an afternoon slide. I don't give a fuck, you know. So now I'm at that. So that's like a whole. Then obviously we're doing visuals too. A lot of visuals, NFL films. Like, we don't do like basic videos. Take from like cinema. We can find shit's crazy. We got some crazy like concepts for, like, these upcoming videos.
I like the concept of a few videos that I saw of yours. They were more like storytelling.
Yes. Exactly.
It reminded me a lot of not necessarily the music itself, but the way the story was told, the way NF does his stuff.
NFL film.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, I fuck with this, you know? Like,
no. I be sending him, like, I'll send him clips of, like, yo, watch this scene, or watch, like, how they shot this video, just to get his mind going. Be like, not just for me. I'm like, yo, just watch it, because it's people out there doing what you're doing. See how they do it.
What does your team consist of? Like, you have, I know for a fact you need a whole team for a production. You know?
Yeah.
So what does your team consist of?
So like Feezy, like say he's producer, mix, mash, he's an artist himself, does marketing too, like then you got Chance on the camera, got Joe on the camera, taking photos, and then just who everybody kind of knows. Everybody knows how the SA way, you know, he's artist, promoter, Lazy, Nino, Larson's studio, SFS, homie David in Milwaukee. So it's like, it's just a network. Just a network that's...
It's a bubble. It just...
Yeah, and the bubble right there, and it keeps going.
Okay, so it's pretty much a whole community at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody's doing their thing too.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's like, oh, focus on one thing. No, everyone has something.
Not everyone's focused on you.
That's what I said today. I'm like, I brought somebody, but everybody's out
doing their own thing,
doing something to get done.
No. That's what it's about. As long as it's getting it done, you know?
Exactly.
In the next 3 months, what are some of the goals, shows, anything?
Well, in the next 3 months, I would like probably to announce like the tour.
Oh, okay.
I think 3 months could be enough time to get every venue on board. Or
are you planning it yourself, or are you kind of like...
Yeah, I'm like laying the groundwork and then like reaching out to people to be like, hey,
okay,
want to be part of this, or help me here, I help you there.
How many shows are you planning?
Right now,
how many would you like?
I'll say the minimum right now is 8,
okay,
8 or 9.
That's a good number.
And the maximum I want to do is like 20 or something, like
shit.
So
okay.
Like, but then those 20 will be added. Let's say if like a festival hits me up, like, oh, we'll give you 20 minutes at this festival,
shit.
And that becomes a tour day.
Yeah, it does.
So it could go up, you know, but I would say minimum and that's just United States. I'm like, okay. Then doing Mexico, we go to Europe. It's like, and everything in Europe, they say you can take a train 2-3 hours this way, 2-3 hours that way, an hour that way. So it's like you don't even have to like take a plane. So it's like that's gonna be great travel. It's easy.
It's another tour date. Yep. Would that be what you would be planning for 2024?
Yeah, that would be. That, but I already have like 5 other projects done or in the works. Like, there's already so much more music, but the focus is gonna be pushing this, and French just drops some music, drop a low-key tape every month, but the main project is getting pushed through HOTBOX.
The whole album. Yeah. Okay. Any specific collaborations or partnerships that you're working towards?
This guy next door. No.
Man.
I used to honestly I did want features, but I wanted that to happen organically. I wanted them to be like a surprise. Like, so my homie named Broski hit me up like last week. I was having like a challenging day, and he said like a quote to me. It's like, oh, you gotta collab with people who are like the most random for you or not in your category. And I was like, man, that's dope. And then we keep talking. He's like, yeah, thanks for the quote earlier. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you said that in an interview. And I was like, I said that? So you sent it to me. So it made me feel better. I'm like, wow, my homie's like listening and stuff. So it's like, I don't care who it is. It could be a guitar. Like in a studio like this, imagine you walk down here and you hear somebody just shredding. You'd be like, yo, let's make a beat or something. Like, I made music like that. So it's like, right now I'm looking forward to the person who surprised me to be like, hey, let's make a song. Because that might be the craziest song. Because
you never know.
Yeah.
Are you open to? You're a rap artist, you know, hip hop, rap, you know, that kind of ground. But are you open to kind of venture into different genres?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I produce as well. Like, not as heavy, but like I like producing. So it's like we done made house music. Then make some jazz like music. Cause we had people like play violin, come in, play guitar, play here. Actually got a band coming in, play some corridos and shit like.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's music, it's art,
exactly. So it's like no, definitely. There's definitely things I want to keep dabbling. Like I said, you gotta go from a rapper to a music artist. So I think I would say that HOTBOX SPARRIN has turned me into a music artist. Like I'm not a rapper. You know, like that's how I look at it.
The evolution.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. How do you feel about like all the people that kind of close their mind off to like sticking to certain genres, or you know, like
if it's their bread and butter, I can see why.
Okay.
You know, gotta make what you gotta make, but like the people who really challenge themselves, you could see them take that leap, and even if they don't make it, they're still getting up and going.
Yeah.
You know, you might not like this album or that album, but people out there like what they're doing. Give them credit for stepping outside the box.
I agree. Is there any advice that you would give any other upcoming artists that are just starting that you would be like, hey, when I was starting, that was hard for me, but I wish someone would have told me, I don't know.
Balance, like learn to balance, like being an artist, learn to balance the learning and doing business. Don't just pour so much into like, oh, I'm in the studio 95%, and the 5% is what you put to business of sending emails, doing this, learning that. I would say balance, like learn how to split that.
Okay. So the business aspect of your career, because it is a career if that's how
that's how you're gonna make money. If you make money off of it, it becomes business, you know.
Okay, that's a really good one. And then let's talk a little bit of performances. You do performances how often?
I used to do them like every week, multiple times a week. Right now it's like I've been doing like some sets here and there, but November 15th release party is gonna be like one I'm heavily curating.
Okay.
But then after that, obviously go on tour. But right now, like I don't want to do too much. You know, just focus on this, sprinkle some in between.
Are there any venues or festivals that would like be a dream come true to you?
Playing Lollapalooza in Chicago with Chicago behind you.
Really?
I went this year with my homie Larson, and what else? We saw Kendrick, saw Red Hot Chili Peppers, JID, what was there? Joey Badass, A-Boogie with the Hoodie. Like, we saw a bunch of people, but just to be like that stage, and then I saw Shaquille O'Neal. Like, it's just to see that stage, and you just at nighttime, and you see like just like this fucking skyline.
That would be like
Chicago. I fuck around, just put the bat symbol up there while I'm performing. That would be nasty.
You were so funny. He said the bat symbol.
While you're performing, put that shit up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Think about it. In the movie they shot it here. So you know.
That would be kind of. That would be crazy. That's
my idea. I gotta do it now. I gotta do it.
Talk to me about the most meaningful performances.
Damn, there's a few. I would say on my 30th birthday, I performed at the Green Mill in Chicago, and it was my golden birthday, as they say, and it's July 30th, so it's the same day I'm turning there. And that place is like known for like back in the day, gangsters. Al Capone was sitting right there in the booth.
Oh.
Like, yeah. So now it's like one of the most respected jazz clubs, but they have a show called Paper and Machete. It's like a variety show. God damn. It's a variety show. So I got on there, started building myself up on there, and it's crazy. It's literally like a jazz. Imagine a jazz club. Like, you're on stage and like many tables, tiny tables. They're serving old, like, it's cash only.
That's really
drink
cool.
strong, really dim lights. Like, it's crazy. So that was a really good one, because it's like that place is not really known for rap, and like, you're a rapper in the city that got to perform there. So that's something. Like, it's something. So that Joe was at Rosemont. I opened up for Redman. It was supposed to be Redman and Method Man, but Method Man couldn't make it. Shit, just being at that big ass stage at Joe's at Rosemont, I did a call and response thing. You know, my Simon Says.
How was that?
It was good, man. I got footage on my phone. That one, it was just so dope, and like, so dope. I would say those two, but I'm just always looking towards the next performance, like upping it. It doesn't matter if it's 100, 500,000. 100 can give you more energy than 1,000. You know, like.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What would you say are some of the really cool things that you've gotten to do as an artist? You know, like, have you opened for anybody?
Oh yeah,
I've
I've opened for Currency twice, Davies, Cameron, with my homie. He did some songs. I hopped on there for some songs. What else? Damn, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's those, and just traveling out of state. Like, I've been out of state because of music. Like, I went to different states because of what I wrote. Well, you know, and that blows my mind sometimes. Like, you gotta think like, oh man, you wrote something and it got you to another state. So,
how has it been being out of state? Like,
oh dude, it's awesome. Exploring the world, seeing how other people see what's their culture in their city. Like, it's cool. Like, I love doing it. Like,
isn't it so crazy where you go to like a different state and like you try to look for certain things that you would find in your city so easily,
it's not happening.
And they're like, what are you talking about?
Or they have something of it, but like their own version. You know.
And it doesn't. Yeah, I can't. Nope. Take me back to Chicago so quick. Always. I like it, but I can't. I don't know.
I feel you on that.
I don't know. I always gotta find my way back over here. What would be one of the things that you say that has shaped your career completely?
Shaped my career completely. My edge.
What do you mean by that?
Like you said, like, every set I perform is new. That's how often I'm practicing each set. Like, that's edge right there, you know? Like, you can do something practical, like you could do 10 push-ups a day or whatever. Like, you can get, but where's your mind where you're doing it? Like, where are you taking your mind? So I think I'm always challenging my mind to be like, okay, like, we're not settling. Like, it's not a step up a stairs, not a flat land type thing. So I would say my edge. A lot of artists are dope, whatever, but they don't have edge.
Okay.
You can be dope, but are you gonna be great? Like, it's a huge jump, you know? Like, yeah. put that on a shirt.
Ooh.
Right here, timestamp. But yeah, like the edge, I would say my edge. Like, that's the next mixtape, my edge, the edge.
You heard it first here.
Because there's like, there's people who you think are mentors, but they look up to you just as much, you know, like type shit. Like, it may sound, it's not cocky, it's confident. It's just like, damn, like, you might learn something, but their ceiling might be here. It's not personal or anything. It's just like, yo, you got to keep leveling up.
You learn from everybody.
Exactly. You got to learn from everybody. So it's like, there's people I thought were mentors, and it's just like, man, no, like, I got to mentor myself now. I would love to, obviously, big wigs, whatever. Not mentor me, but like I would say, work together with me. Mm-hmm. So I learned from you by working together. Because you see what I'm doing here and you see how it's working. So let's work together instead of I under you or something, you know, like, yeah.
So you work with people instead of for them, kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Wording is everything. See?
No, for sure. I get you. Alrighty. Well, anything that you want to kind of share with anyone? Everybody?
HOTBOX SPARRIN comes out, download it, check it out. See me in your city, come through, say what's up, you know. If you rap, show me, send it, something, like, you know, honestly. Freestyle, I put on beats and freestyle shows, so I usually be like, oh, freestyle's in the crowd, and somebody can come on stage and show me your freestyle. So that's how you meet people, so, you never know.
No,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, just RhymSter, check us out.
What's your social media? How can people find you?
At RhymSter92, RhymSter 92. Just RhymSter on Spotify, everything.
Everything. And remember, the album is being released. There is a whole release party, right? So
November 15th, Legendary Subterranean. You get in free if you download the album at the door.
Everybody,
you do just download the album. It'll be like it'll be a code like, okay, scan it. It's gonna show you everywhere it's on. Just download it, show you download it, and boom, you get it for free.
Any shout outs to anyone that's been working along with you?
Shout out Sneezy, NFO, Large, NSA Way, Lazy, all those guys. David in Milwaukee. Cool. You guys, shout out to y'all. Thank you for having me. No, of course. Thank you so much for coming by. It's been a pleasure having you. Yes, you got me bait.
Shout out Pinche Frankie. Let's go. We're good.